We are live as live can get here on SkyhawkAfterDarkRadio.com. We are also on Twitch and on the Twitch over there. DL Live as well, and you can get a hold of us on iHeartRadio. We are just having a blast, and I essentially basically just did an unrecorded show with somebody that she gets me, she gets Giovanni, she gets everybody. She joins us today here on our big broadcast. Syren, how are you, my friend?
I am good. It's because I'm old.
No.
This is my 19th year, literally. My 19th year.
I technically have been in, I always like to tell everybody that I've been in the content creation porn business for a cup of coffee, but technically I've been in this thing for 3 years, which my stuff and your stuff, completely different deals. I'm just an idiot in a sombrero. Yeah. You are a legend.
Technically, I did start like literally 20 years ago, like right now. Because I did.
There you go, baby.
Stuff, but like for the pro side, which is where like my filmography starts, 19 years. But through that 19 years, I know the industry, I know the people, I know the ins and outs, I know the great things, and I know the shit.
Well,
it just comes with the territory.
So one of the things that I love about you is that you are not one of these sugar-coated people that I keep running into. Holy shit. No. Some of these people that I've run into fairly recently in the business, holy crap, these people did not did not have much of an upbringing, because they get offended by all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, you're in the porn business.
I don't want to because I mean, every generation has their shit. They really do. But a lot of the young, I mean, it's like some just, weren't brought up well.
Well, for instance, and
but a lot have been. I mean, a lot have been.
We had a girl who shot with us in Chicago, or as I've always liked to refer to it, Rosemont, Illinois, at the porn convention, because you don't want to say Chicago and Exotica. So we usually say Rosemont, Illinois, at the porn convention about a couple months ago.
Like Rosemont. Where's Rosemont?
Rosemont, that's right. And it's always like whenever I see people that they're going to be in Kansas City and they're not actually in Kansas City, they're going to be in Overland Park, and I'm like, well, you're just outside Kansas City, but whatever. She was running around with little bits of nothing on. And at one point, we had a college intern, which is amazing. We had a college intern who was interning with us, and she seen this chick, or that's gonna get me in trouble because I called somebody a chick. I'll end up on the yellow list again. But she made a comment to her about, okay, you have really nice boobs, and she's like, you want to touch them? And then like a couple days later, she made some comment to somebody about how she was sexually harassed. And I'm like, you're running around with no clothes on, wanting people to touch your boobs, but you got sexually harassed. Come on.
I'm sure at some point somewhere someone was recording her actually saying that. And that's where, the whole Me Too movement is a good thing. It really is.
Yes.
But unfortunately, it's human nature to take advantage of certain situations.
Yes.
And certain humans will definitely
certain humans
that situation. And when the whole Me Too movement hit the adult industry, I mean, like a fucking brick, right?
Oh, yeah.
It did help weed out a lot of the people that needed to just go.
Yes.
But some really good friends of mine were falsely accused.
Yeah.
And I mean, consequently, they all lost their jobs. And it's like the companies didn't even want to investigate. They didn't want to do anything. They just took the word of the person, and then fired these
Well,
prominent directors.
some.
Now, these
Oh, directors.
have
Okay.
crew. They have
Because
crew. Well, yeah, I mean, of course it's going to be.
because
It can be crew. It can be crew, but most of the time it is director because you have that quid pro quo and the pressure and you know the young girls are impressionable and they feel that pressure of, well, if I don't do what they say, I won't get booked again.
well, for
So
instance,
that's where it's like the Me Too got rid. I mean, it did. It
it,
helped
the
weed them
the
out.
Me Too
But my
thing.
friends, I mean, they got fired and their careers were almost destroyed because of these lies. And one of them actually filed a massive lawsuit
Oh, really?
and won. So there's, kind of that. There's good and bad. There's good and bad in the
It's like
generations. There's
it's like
good and
when
bad
people
in
used
humans.
to.
There's good and bad in any industry. I mean, it's like you look at big business. You want to know how often people fuck to get to where they need to get to?
Oh yeah.
A lot.
We.
But
I
because we
I
are
hate to make
marginalized,
this political, but the last presidential candidate got to her position based upon fucking her way to the top. So that was. But one of the
and
things.
she was also denying shit that she was doing when she was a DA in California. I'm like, what?
Well, one of the things, like with
But
this,
anyway, I'm not,
with
I'm
with
gonna
this
get
Me
myself
Too,
blacklisted if I continue this conversation.
with this Me Too thing, one of the things that had happened, which I think it was 2017 maybe when we went to, there was an AVN we went to, and we were wandering around, and at one point, we happened to see Ron Jeremy is there, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I want to interview Ron. So we're standing in line, and me and my girlfriend are standing there, and she's the camera person, and we're watching all these women go up there, and they're sitting on his lap. They're shoving their hands in his pants. They're kissing him. They're doing all this stuff. And
he always asks,
and at one point,
can I touch your boob? Can I do
yeah.
Always
And
ask.
and at one point, when we got done with the interview, my girlfriend Brittany goes up there and she's like, I want to get a photo. So he's standing there and he goes to get this photo and he's like, can I touch your boob? And she's like, oh yeah. So he touched her boob, took a photo. And then when they did the Me Too thing, and all these chicks come out of nowhere and they're like, oh my God, Ron Jeremy. And I'm like thinking, I watched at one of these expos, these women violate this guy. And I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I've known Uncle Ronnie literally for 20 years.
Uncle Ronnie.
And yeah, I mean, he just because I've known him for so long, he really is Uncle Ronnie to me.
Yeah.
So it's like that's where I know, like with me now, the adult industry will treat women differently depending on their age.
Yeah.
Okay. So with me getting into the industry at the age I did, I never saw I mean, there was a little bit like when I started.
Well, yeah.
But I never really saw the pressure that a lot of these young girls do. Now, back to Ron, he does. He always asks.
Yeah.
But he is a little more insistent with the younger girls. So I can see how they could feel pressured even though he's asking.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where Me Too went, and especially in the industry, it really is an individual emotional take.
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally take what the other person is doing? How do you feel? How do you react? What are your emotions? And
Yes.
we're all different. We're all
Yeah.
different. So it's a really hard, it's hard to police, it's hard to prove. It's just difficult.
Yeah.
And then we in the industry now, whether you're a male talent, whether you're a director, I mean, there was a time where no one would talk to anyone on set because everyone was
Oh
so
God, those
afraid
days are done.
to say anything. Well, it's actually still, we have kind of gotten over the chaos of all of that. But I have talked to a couple male talent, and they still feel like they need to walk on eggshells with their co-stars. So it's
Okay, so this I have a whole bunch of questions. I have a whole bunch of questions.
No.
Okay, so Syren, when way back in the day,
okay.
when you're on a porn set, and
Yeah.
like you were just saying, walking on eggshells, we didn't talk to anybody, all this stuff. How many people are on the set during a scene?
That will vary. So
well, the reason I bring this up is because a couple years ago in Chicago at the old porn convention, we were shooting a scene with this girl, and we had the girl and the guy, and we had a camera guy, and then we had someone who was just hanging out. Then we had a couple other people who were
that
doing
would be
paperwork.
The PA probably. And
we
he
were doing
wasn't
all
just
this
hanging
stuff.
out.
And there was this chick sitting on the couch, and she's like, "Well, I can't believe that you're going to shoot content with all these people in the room." And we were like, "Don't you realize that's how they shoot
production? It's not just a personal.
We had a light guy, we had a boom mic person, we had all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we had people filling out their paperwork because they were going to shoot next. Yeah, and she's sitting there going, shouldn't we just have the camera person and the two people that are in the bed? And I'm like, where the fuck have you been, Toots?
You have your PA, so either your production assistant or your production manager, so your PA or PM.
Yeah.
And I'm just rattling off. So you have your director, you have your sound guy, you have your light guy, you have your set guy, you have your wardrobe guy. I mean, the guy.
yeah.
But so it's like, yes, I have been on sets where it literally is only the director.
Yeah.
Or the cameraman and the director's off somewhere, right? So yes, I have been on set where there is only one person, but then I've been on major sets where just crew alone was like 15 people.
Okay. Well, I think part of this is that she was used to being as my buddy Giovanni calls them, tripod actress, because she was.
That's how I film shit.
She was used to her and the guy in a tripod.
Yeah.
And nobody else.
It can be an adjustment, and it is easier for us women to adjust to that.
Well, yeah.
And whatever. But that's actually when I have guys go, hey, it's like, hey, I got a big dick, I can get into porn, and I'm like, okay, let me do this. And
I cannot wait to tell you about a conversation that but go.
This answer that I'm giving you is for those that kind of have that cocky, that attitude, right?
Oh yeah.
Chest up.
Oh yeah. They're
it's like they have like a 4-inch dick, right? And they're going, I could be a porn star, da da da. So I'm like, okay.
How are you reading my FetLife inbox every day? Go ahead.
I want you to grab a group of your buddies, and it's got to be at least 5, because that's the average
Oh,
of
yeah.
crew that's on any set, right back to the PA and the director and the light dude and the sound dude and the all of that,
Oh, yeah.
right?
All the
Photographer.
shenanigans. All the
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Okay. So 5 of your buddies. I want you to get some spotlights. I don't know, just get some lights.
Yeah.
Have a couple lights like in a circle. Have all the guys in a circle. One of the guys is going to be running a camera, and another guy is going to be barking out instructions.
Yeah. Gonna tell you to cut
And
positions, this, that, the other.
In the middle, you need to strip down. You need to get your dick hard. Then you need to let it down. Then you need to get your dick hard. Then you need to let it down. Then you need to get your dick hard, and you need to let it down. All the while, the camera is running. You have bright lights on you. You have the director telling you what to do, how to do it, what to say, all while you have other people watching you. Now, you do all of that. Send me the film. If you're able to
keep all that on the road,
when you come, when the director tells you to come, if you can do that, then you have a possibility of getting into the industry. I'm not going to say for sure because you have agents and
well, one of the things,
but you've got a good chance. The industry, the porn industry, is not just a fuck fest. We do not show up and fuck and go home. We are in hair and makeup. We have stills, whether it's pretty girls, hardcore stills. We have dialogue that can include a blowjob up and down. The guy is erected, not getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down, doing the sex. And then he's like, okay.
Doing the sex. Sounds like you're talking to some Indian guys.
And you've got to literally jerk yourself off most of the time. It's like, I'm like, do you want to fuck me to pop in? That's all fine. I don't think that's good. But a lot of times the male actors actually want the control of masturbation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, but you've got to masturbate in a timely fashion because
in a timely fashion.
Yeah, they're paying for our time. They're paying for the locations.
Yep.
Okay, so time is money, right?
Well, one of the things
come in a timely manner, and it's got to be a nice load that can be shot, that can be seen. All that. It is a lot of pressure for these guys. A lot.
Well, one of the things, and
I am their largest advocate of those boys that can actually do this and do it solidly to where we are not waiting hours for an erection.
This is like a master class. This is like a master class.
So it's like I will bow down to the male actors daily because of all of the pressure and the stress they have to go through and still be able to perform the way they do. And even if they're not attracted to the girl, they still need to.
Oh, yeah. I run in. Two things.
You gotta learn how to be attractive. You might not like the girl that's in front of you, but you still have to get it hard. You still have to perform. So these guys, thank you.
Well,
I mean, seriously.
One of the things that I run into, especially with some of these people that we deal with on a regular basis, it is always so nice when we go to like exoticas and stuff like that, because I know I'm not going to be dealing with a lot of the swinger people and stuff like that. But one of the things that I always have to explain to a lot of these girls and these guys, especially the guys, is that okay, if we're going to be filming, I'm going to be like, if you're banging this chick from behind, I'm going to be over the top, over your shoulder,
under.
I'm going to be near you.
That's it. That camera is literally
I'm going to be near you.
Right under the guy's ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
And I'm like, I'm going to be near you. And there may be a point where, like, I'll brush against you.
Oh, I've had cameramen and directors do that. They're like, okay, I am going to touch you.
Yeah. And a lot of times when I explain this to these swingers, these OnlyFans people, they're like,
those guys are be like, another Oh my God! And they lose their erection.
The other one that I like is, and kind of along the way that you brought up there, is that you need to be ready. Because some of these, like you brought up the thing which, this is like a master class with Syren today. At some point, we're gonna have her and Giovanni on this show too. But after the things we talked about earlier, that might be a private Zoom call before we do the show. But one of the things that you mentioned, which I have tried to explain to a lot of these girls and guys, you mentioned the thing about if you're a guy and you're getting ready to work with a girl and you're not really attracted to her, you've got to get hard for it. One of the things that I see in the super secret Telegram groups and all these things is all this stuff about, well, it's not on my brand. He's not on my brand. I don't want to work with him because they're not my brand. And I'm like, your brand is porn. That's your brand.
Yeah. I actually, because so my husband is a creator.
Yeah.
And I mean, he doesn't have 100,000 followers. He doesn't have 50,000 followers. But seriously, there is only 1% of the male porn stars that have 50,000 followers or more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not. He's got a name for himself. I mean, hell, we're at conventions. He get recognized more than I do.
Yes.
And he
That's
was, because he would contact people or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because she pulled that.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have enough followers.
You don't have enough followers. I had a chick. I had a chick the other day who tried to get a paid shoot out of us, and she's got 203 followers. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay. Yes. So she told Rick that. No, you're not, And I mean, he was good about it. He's like, fine, you just let it go.
Yeah,
no big deal, whatever. Fine, that's what you want. Okay, fine. The thing that pissed me off.
Because this is who I'm really begging. He points over to you.
She contacted me to film content.
There you go.
And okay, I'm gonna, I have 450,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
X. Okay.
Yeah. Because
she had
I'm looking at this right now, 456.5.
Like 50,000 followers.
Yes.
So I'm like, thank you for your interest, but you know what? You actually don't fit my brand, and you don't have enough followers for me.
It's always the brand shit. I don't understand the brand shit.
I get the brand. I do, because I gotta protect my brand.
Well, yeah.
But you know what? If you have a performer that you have references for, if you've never worked with them, and this is the creator side, you guys. This is not. This is.
Oh yeah. This is not the.
It's way different.
Yeah.
But if you have references for a guy or a girl, but you've never worked with them, I mean, they're all good references. You're going to get good content. What difference does it make how many followers they have? Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be working with someone who is brand new or a year in. Of course, they're not going to have that many followers. They haven't been doing it this long.
Yeah.
So why shoot them? I don't. But see, that's
well, and I always love the girls who they've been in this for a cup of coffee, and they think they are the greatest thing in the world. And we did. I'll give you a good example of this. we did a content shoot house in Kansas City one time, and we invited all sorts of different people, and most of them I figured was going to be just the ordinary swinger people, whatever. And it was more of a thing of, come learn about the paperwork, come learn about the filming part of it, come see if you even want to do this crap. Or if you've got an OnlyFans and you want to get some content, show up, that's cool. Well, we had this one girl show up with her husband, and they were in the porn industry. And they were looking around. Well, their thing was that all these guys that were in this room had not just stepped off the front of Muscle and Fitness, so they weren't going to fuck any of these people. Right. So then they pulled has everybody TTS'd? And I'm like...
The swingers were like, what?
So she decided to leave. She was going to leave. And... I bumped into someone who was at a shoot a couple weeks ago that apparently she was involved in Kansas City. And I said, how did that shoot get set up? And he goes, well, she got a hold of this guy and was begging him to do it. So, yeah.
I came from a swinger background.
Oh, yeah. I love swingers. Swingers are what make the world go round. I love the pineapple people. They're great.
Strippers that come in.
Oh yeah.
Swingers that come in. Cam girls come in.
Oh yeah. Come on in.
We're all back to our behind the scenes conversation. We're all sex workers.
Code of conduct, baby.
We're all sex workers.
That's right. That's right. Even if we don't want to change the name of the company, it's still Sex Work PR. But we have got a great guest with us today. How do we find you on the old Twitter machine if people want to?
Twitter, X, Twitter. Sorry,
it's always going to be Twitter to me until Elon gives me a check. I always think it's funny. People like the Young Turks and Alex Jones, they call it Twitter, and the minute they got a check from Elon, they're like, "Oh, find us on X." Oh, really? It's X now.
I am the whole old dog, new tricks. It just doesn't. Yeah. I still call my Oculus VR.
That's
Oculus.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I don't call it Meta. That's just how I am.
I call it the Twitter machine, and it's always going to be the Twitter machine.
So on X, I am shadow banned, so it probably is better to go on Google, search Syren Demur, Twitter.
That's it.
But I am Syren Demur XXX, which is tied to my OnlyFans with the same Syren Demur XXX.
Look at that.
I have
Somebody's taught you branding along the way. That's awesome.
Syren Demur is my actual my profile, and then Syren Demur fan page. So I've got both of those on there. My email, I've got Syren@sinfulsyren.com. No Instagram. So.
Are you banned? Are you banned on Instagram, or you just decided you weren't going to play that game?
I got tired of their bullshit.
Okay.
It's like they would shut me down for this and that. Okay, learning curve. Yeah, okay, there were some questionable pictures in the beginning, but then you learn, right? So then I'm just posting pictures of me like this.
Oh yeah.
And of my cat.
Oh yeah, they fucking go nuts over there.
I had all my Instagram profiles attached to my Facebook fan page.
Oh yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
We're about the same person. Facebook had no problem with any of the pictures that were posted or transferred, however you want technology. Anyway, but Instagram constantly shut down my account.
Yeah.
I got tired of the bullshit. I am not going to waste my time on something that does not want me there. That's
Giovanni got booted.
That is drama that I do not, and I am one of those people that if I see drama a mile away, I am going to turn tail and go the other direction because life is too
That's an
short.
old line I used to use.
I really do. It's not worth the energy, so I don't.
Well, Giovanni got booted off Facebook for the second time because he shared a webcam model's photo where she was dressed up with pigtails and had a lollipop, and they flagged it and told him that he was doing child porn or whatever. So they booted him off there, and he's like, okay, I'm done with Facebook.
Yeah. I've had photos taken down. One reason or not, they're reported or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in Facebook jail.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny. It's like those kind of run in phases. It's weird. It's like they will leave my account alone for years, and then all of a sudden I've got a 3-day suspension, and I'm a 7-day, and then I have a month, and then they kind of leave me alone again for a while. So I'm like,
I got a notification. I got a notification the other day that Facebook had taken down a video that I had posted in 2020 of a Ultimate Fighting Championship press conference where I'm in the press conference asking a question. I'm a member of the media, and they got me for copyright infringement. And I sent them a response, and I said, I'm in the call. I have emails proving that I have a press pass for this call.
One of their algorithms or something, because I actually just yesterday got a message from Facebook saying, "Hey, we took down a photo. This is the photo.
Did you put up an 18?
POS, blah blah blah." It was a photo from fucking 2013.
There you go. Some kind of bullshit.
We're 2025. And you're ripping down a photo that was from 12 years ago?
Well, and then they sent me a survey a couple days later where they were like, we'd like you to take a survey. And they were like, have you noticed that a lot of your posts have been taken down for some reason? And I'm like, okay, what is all this? Yeah. Well, I think that's good that you just like don't play the game. I think that's fantastic.
And that's why certain entities don't like me.
Hey, I'll tell you.
I don't play the game. I really don't. It's not worth it, you guys. Just be yourself. Stand up for yourself.
I'm reminded of
there's no reason to just live your life in negativity and drama. And no. Life is just
what you're essentially doing is, and I don't know if you're a Seinfeld fan or not, but it's essentially what Jerry said in that one episode where they wanted him to do that race, and he goes, "I choose not to run." You just choose not to run. You gotta
choose. You gotta pick and choose. Some things are worth the battle. They really are.
Well, yeah.
But social media, you guys. Anyway,
no, it's not. So you have got just looking at your Twitter, you have got a lot, and I mean a lot. You are busy. You are busier than a fruit merchant at this point. Holy crap. Talk to me a little bit about some of the different things you've been doing lately. Because, it's fun for us to bag on the porn industry, and it's fun to bag on all these new people with the brands. But this is about promo.
I love it. I won't retire. I mean, well, okay. I might once I start getting... But but I love the industry. I really do. It's like-minded people. We're quirky. We're fun. It's a fucking dysfunctional family, and I love it. But you got to, like family, I mean, you got to bash on certain things, right?
One of the things that, looking at all your stuff that you've got up here and all the various things, First of all, you're you talking about, well, retire when this or blah, blah. Looking at some of this stuff, I don't think that's going to happen in the next 5-10 years. So I think you're safe.
I think I'm good for a while.
I think you're fine. So one of the things that you were mentioning earlier about with like the porn people is, you need to be ready to, get hard at a moment's notice or deflate or all these various things. One of the things that I have noticed, and we've had this happen at a couple of our shoots in New Jersey and Chicago, and Giovanni has created a phrase that a lot of people hate. He walks in and he says, "Less talky, more fucky." And these little millennial people get offended.
Yeah, that's a 10-year ago.
and part of this is that we will find that people will get ready to do this stuff, and then they're talking about their kids wrestling. They're talking about
Yeah.
gluten-free this, gluten-free that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
We do talk.
We got an hour.
We do. It's like there's course there's going to be some downtime. Of course we talk. I mean, that's what we do. That's what even acquaintances do.
Are you offended by the phrase "less talking, more fucky fucky"?
Me?
Yeah. Would you be offended if he came in and you were talking to somebody and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey,
but see,
ladies."
I am not a hypersensitive personality.
The last 35 minutes we've realized you are not.
Words are words. So no, I do not get offended. I really don't. And it's all, like to inflection, how you say something. I mean, if you're gonna disrespect me by calling me a whore with a certain tone, that's gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
But if you call, it's like,
obviously,
oh, you are a dirty whore.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank you. But no, that term does not offend me. Words cannot hurt you. Only you can hurt you.
Yes.
I actually was talking to someone about everyone needs to relearn how to take accountability for their own emotions.
Mm-hmm.
No one can make you feel a certain way. Only you can make you feel a certain way.
Yes.
And that's how I was brought up. That really was. And that's how I still look at things now. So it's like, it all depends on, like I said, tone, inflection, would I get offended or not? But that term right there, no. And to give you an example, I go on set immediately. I'm like, all right, you guys, see me? I'm the lech on set, so don't be offended if I'm trying to like touch you.
Yeah. It's so
strange.
laughs.
So, it's fine.
Because some of this stuff, I like, for instance, another thing that really kind of ticks a lot of people off is that, which it didn't really tick a lot of people off. It's more of a thing of, I think they're kind of shocked when I take them into the room and sort of go through my speech, where I'm like, okay, so how's this going to start? What's the finish? How long are we going for? And once we get all that answered, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
And they all look at me a little odd, and I'm like, well, you said you're going to fuck for 20 minutes. She's a secretary, you're an accountant, or whatever the fuck. And and you're coming on her tits.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Bottom line, yes. But you have to add in, like I said, the makeup, the hair, the photos, the dialogue, and the blah, blah, blah. And I mean, for like the professional production.
Well, yeah.
Creating, like when I film my own content, oh, it's so easy.
It's so easy.
It really is, because we're like, okay, oh, it's like you're my stepson, we're on vacation, we walk into the room and we bang.
So that is something that I want to get your take on, is that because you've done all this stuff, where you've done all the professional stuff, and now you're doing the creator stuff, what are the differences from, like, when you do your creator stuff? Yeah. What is the stuff that you do there that you would never do on the professional set, and vice versa? Run that down for us. That is very intriguing.
Seriously, nothing.
Really?
Because what I do on my pro sets is what I'm willing to do in my personal, like my personal content.
Oh. Okay.
They're all in the same, and maybe that's because I do everything. So I keep my content varied.
Yeah.
I don't like just what's the blinders anyway. I always keep a varied, whether it's girl, whether it's solo, whether it's BDSM. So it's like I will do that for the pro side, and I'll do that for my side. It's just it's the production value.
Yeah.
Is going to be the biggest difference between the two. So it's like how it's lit. I mean, production, like professional productions are using $20,000 cameras.
Yeah.
I'm using a $1,500 camera.
Yeah.
Or my phone.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the main difference. So it is definitely like, you know, like my content is going to be amateur.
That's
The
awesome.
professional content isn't going to be amateur. So that's probably the only like difference that you would see between. But heck yeah, I am not going to do a bunch of different things that I do in my private life that I'm not going to allow myself to do in my professional life.
That's awesome.
I don't see being I'm not going to say hypocrite, but that's just kind of how I am. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone has a screen persona, correct? Right?
Yeah.
So it's like Syren is a bigger personality than my personal personality, but
Yeah.
not a lot. So it's
It's
like
you with the volume turned up a little bit.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's all. But a lot of people aren't like that. So, but that's a good question to ask. Um, anybody. And, you know, and it's like maybe like I was saying, my answer is the way it was is because I do everything. I've been doing this for so long. It's second nature to me. And because I was a swinger and came into the industry from that lifestyle, I was in the BDSM lifestyle. So I am, you know, so it's like I already brought what I was already doing privately,
Yeah.
personally, into my professional side.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have got it.
And I do.
Yes,
I
go ahead.
want to backpedal just a little bit.
Yes, let's go. Let's
how I
jump
act
off the
on
good foot and do the bad thing, as they say.
and the whole hey, I'm the lech and whatever else.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I do respect everybody that I do work with. And I know how to like read people. I am an empath, so I can get a vibe of my co-stars and what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to rape anybody on set or, you know, touch anybody that doesn't want to be touched. There have been times where I will touch and I went, "Oh, I should have asked. I'm sorry." And then it's like, well, you know, and they're like, "Oh, no, it's fine." And I go, "Okay, good, because what's the term? It's always better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission."
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very, very old term, and these young people are kind of like, "What? No, it should be the other way around."
Oh, yeah.
You know,
well, and you mentioned in the swinger thing there we had a girl who would come to these swinger parties that I would throw, and she sort of has been nicknamed the party starter because she gets people going. And we had a guy one time come to one of these parties, and then he sends me a message on FetLife the next day, and he's like, "Oh, you guys were so welcoming, blah, 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 all this stuff." And then a couple weeks later, I don't know what happened, but apparently he changed his tune or something. So he sends me this message, is talking all this shit. And then at the bottom, he says that this chick sexually harassed him. This chick, she is so not any of that, because like if she would be in the room with you, she would like, if she was going to move your hair, she would go, can I touch your hair? And then it would be like, can I take off your top? Can I do this? Everything is can I? And when I got that, I'm like, she sexually harassed you? I'm not sure, brother.
Where it all come from? Yeah. But that is a like number one first rule in that lifestyle is you always
consent.
And that's how really the pro industry is nowadays. It has taken that number one rule and ask. We respect everyone because, like I was saying earlier, everybody's likes, dislikes, what they feel comfortable with, it's all different because it's all individualized.
Yes.
I'm just OG and I'm used to how sex used to be, and you flirt and you build some camaraderie and you build some excitement and energy with your co-star. So that's you kind of need that. In my opinion, you kind of need that, but you still need to mind boundaries.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up.
I love it. So, like I said, looking at your stuff on Twitter and looking at all the stuff you've done, what has been some of the fun things you've done, like just recently, that's out there that people can see?
Oh my God! I mean, I will say, and Team Skeet has been like one of the companies that just, I mean, treats me well. They book me all the time, and their scenes are fun. The storylines are fun. They're quirky. They kind of push the envelope a little bit. So it's like really any of the scenes that I've done for them has been a blast. I worked for um, a couple other creators that were like BDSM, so that was great. That was a ton of fun because I don't get to film BDSM anymore. Kink doesn't like me anymore, but
I don't know
things
why.
change. Things change. Things change. But I mean, gosh, individually, certain things. I mean, I've had some great times with like some DP scenes with Vince Carter. I mean, I've done some bigger dialogue scenes for Adult Time. Brazzers. Kind of bummed. I was actually supposed to have a gangbang with Brazzers, but something happened, so that one got.
It's always the gangbangs that gets screwed up.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's a lot of money because you've got to pay the girl her rates, her day rate. You've got to pay each individual guy. I mean, it's a big production trying to put together a gangbang.
It's like they used to say with talk radio was the most expensive radio format because you had the host, the screener, all this stuff, and they're like, if they could get away with just bringing in Rush Limbaugh and get rid of the local guys, it's a lot easier. Same thing with this. It's like if I could just have you and another girl or you and another guy. Screw that, because fuck, if we've got the 5 guys and you, we're paying all 5 guys and you.
And the crew.
Fuck that.
And the location. And the editor. And the producer. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say, okay, so I've got a good thing that I was like, oh my God, this is so much fun. You know what it was? Take one guess. Take one. Just one.
What's up?
It wasn't a mommy scene. Was not a mommy scene. Was not. I actually got to have sex with my neighbor. Hey! We don't see it anymore. It's like it's all. I mean, I love my mommy stuff. I mean,
because I'm looking at your Twitter here, and it's just like you have my friend's hot mom.
Oh yeah.
You have what's this other one up here? Busty
there's...
MILF.
Yeah.
You have
you
student teacher. It's all.
I embrace my MILFdom.
Yeah.
But
there's this one scene which is. It's hot, but at the same time, it's kind of hilarious to watch. This thing of the 5 dick for mommy, where you've got the 5 guys and you're going back and forth, and you're. But I mean, that's what it is. It's mommy this, mommy that, my friend's mom.
It's a lot.
Oops,
Mom's
family. It's all. Yeah.
Yep. Filthy, was it filthy moms or filthy family? There's there's a lot, and it's all family orientated, which my bread and butter besides my anal stuff, right? But it is nice to kind of throw in just a normal, hey, I'm a woman, you're a man.
Yep.
Wow, that was awesome.
Let's fuck the neighbor kind of thing,
Yeah.
I will have to say that you were mentioning earlier, which I would love to have you expand on this part of it, but
Okay.
you were talking about how when you're getting ready to do the scene, you've got to do the stills. You've got to do this stuff where for people that do not understand this world.
What? Say what?
Kind of explain that whole thing, because a lot of these,
they're going crazy.
A lot of people think that it's this guy, this girl, we're gonna fuck. He's gonna do the cum shot. We're done. We've already done paperwork. It's over. And a lot of times, if they're taking photos, they're doing it while they're fucking. Like, for instance, one of the things that we did.
No.
Yeah. So explain this.
No. There are some that will do the hardcore stills while we're filming, or what they'll do, they actually won't take pictures at the same time. They'll take screen grabs.
Yeah.
So they just pull picture, they'll just they'll run in the video and then still that, and then so they grab whatever.
Yeah.
But still most of the time, so I'm just going to start from the beginning. I will go on set. We can be on set. Call times generally are between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I come in, I spend about an hour and a half in the makeup chair getting my hair and makeup done. And then I spend at least another half hour, getting dressed, right? Jewelry, getting dressed, picking out the wardrobe, okay, all of that. Then at least another half hour for just the pretty girl stills. And then we go through and we start doing the dialogue. And just like Hollywood productions, it's different areas of the house or different areas of the studio. It's got to be relit, so lights have to go up, they've got to go down, we got to go over here, we got to do the dialogue here, everything gets moved, we got to do the dialogue over here. Sometimes it is just dialogue, sometimes there's a blowjob thrown in there, so the guy's got to get hard, and then we've got more dialogue, so he's got to let it all go. And then the dialogue itself, depending on how large the script is, or if we're given just a storyline, that time frame will vary. It'll also vary depending on the detail shots, or what we call B-roll. So those are the close-ups of, you're fidgeting your fingers, or you're chewing on a pen, or just, the boobs in your face. So it's all of those detail shots have to be filmed separate. If you are running only one camera or two cameras, you're doing your dialogue 1 to 4 times each area, because they want the wide, they want the single on you, they want a double of both of you, they want like a dirty, so they're trying to get all the different angles, so we've got to do these same lines over and over and over so they can get all of the different takes.
Yep.
And then finally we get to the sex stills. The sex stills basically is how we figure out what position we're going to do, where we're going to do them, how we're going to do them, and in what order. Wow. So when it comes time to actually filming, then we actually do try to get through the whole sex scene all in one shot. It doesn't always work, because there's other things where, sometimes, we got to cut, we got a wrong angle, we have a leg in the wrong spot, whatever, we got to stop. Mm-hmm. So there's times where we have to cut. Camera moves, whatever, lights need to be adjusted, bodies need to be adjusted, the guy needs to stay hard doing this.
Yes, that's the key.
And then we got to go back in as soon as the camera starts rolling and the director says action. We got to remember our intensity and the speed and the passion and the emotion that we had when we cut. We are actors, you guys. Yep. We are not just getting on a bed and a camera in front of us and fucking. We have to remember the shit that we are doing when the director says cut and we've got to start again. Because as a viewer, wouldn't it be really weird if you're banging really fast and then it's a cut and then all of a sudden we're slow? Not what you guys want. Right? Because it kind of throws you. You're like, you hit a wall, you're like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So it's like, then we get through all of the sex and then we do stop because the male talent does have to get ready, has to get himself ready to be able to do the cum shot. And then we film the cum shot. And then we clean up and we shower and we go home. You guys, we don't fuck after. We all have lives. We all have families. We all have shit to do after work. So my day, depending on a lot of variables, can be as short as 2 hours.
Yep.
On set. But those really, really short days, technically for me, are still 4 hours because I'm doing my own hair and makeup.
Yep.
Okay? Or it can go as long as 15 hours, 20 hours on set. You get a few hours sleep. Like the big features, those are long days. And a lot of downtime on those days. But you will have, like, if it's one long day, or if you're booked to work multiple days, you're in and out each one of those days. I mean, one of my longest days was 15 hours. So,
Jesus.
4 hours to 15 hours. It's a lot that goes on in those days.
Oh, yeah. Well, we interviewed a guy fairly recently who was telling us about a deal that he used to do when he was doing porn, where they would do the cum shot first, and then they would come back later and do all the other shit.
So the yeah, I mean, that's rare. I don't really see that, like an actual cum shot first.
Yeah.
But sorry guys to, like, ruin the fantasy on this, but a lot of times the cum shot pictures are faked. Because we do all of the hardcore stills first.
Yep.
Okay. So we have to do the Cetaphil. There's products that need to cum lube. There's products out there that make it look real, and we're squirted on.
Oh,
wherever.
I have gimmicked a few porns in my time.
We have to clean up. We have to clean up because then we've got to be ready for all the dialogue.
Yeah.
After. And then I've come across some others where, the pictures are real because there is a cameraman that's, or a photographer that's right behind the cameraman taking pictures of the cum shot. So they would be real. So it's, it's a kind of a toss-up. But I've had actual, so we film the scene, and most of the, like 98% of the time, really the guys are coming. They are coming.
Yeah.
But there's times, like nowadays for cream pies, it's difficult to actually have the guy really come. So they fake the cream pie. So that's where I've seen that start to happen a little more often than not. It's just easy. It's easier. It's easier on the. It's just easier on the director. Sometimes a guy's cum is a little too thin and it doesn't show.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's like the end all of a porno is you want to see the cum shot. So
that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
We have a great guest with us today. As we wrap up here with Syren, we definitely have to do a round 2 at some point, especially with all the craziness we talked about before the show. Before we let you go, what is the latest thing that you've got out there that people need to go spend some money on?
My OnlyFans.
Hey, that's fine. Let's go.
I mean, I've had stuff come out from I have Brazzers. I've had stuff come out from think I've got a Naughty America coming out sometime soon, but Team Skeet, Anal Vids. So there's quite a bit of different things coming out. I just filmed for Girlfriends Films again, so that should be coming out in a couple weeks or so.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, you are amazing. This has been a blast.
I love our cats.
This was great. We definitely have to do this again. At some point, we need to get you and Giovanni on the show, but also on a private Zoom call, because there's all sorts of stuff you'll need to talk about before we do the show. But
keep the show clean. We got to keep it clean.
Yes. Wait. Because by God, there might be children listening. You never know.
Hit the Children's Hotel.
My God. At the
or Family Hotel or whatever.
Family Hotel. That's right. At the porn convention. Well, Syren, I really appreciate you making some time for us today. This has been a blast.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
And that wraps it up here for SkyhawkAfterDarkRadio.com. Thanks for twitching on the Twitch with us. Thanks to DL Live, whatever the hell that is. And thanks for joining us this week. And we will see you next time. Peace and chicken grease, everybody.